Marvel Studios might have had the perfect moment to set up a World War Hulk storyline in Captain America: Brave New World, but somehow that opportunity slipped through the cracks. For years, fans have speculated that a live-action version of 2007's World War Hulk comic arc was in the works. After all, Bruce Banner has been a core character in the MCU ever since 2008's The Incredible Hulk. And even though he doesn't actually appear in Brave New World, his presence is definitely felt because the movie revisits several characters tied directly to his story. What makes this more interesting is that Brave New World didn't just bring back familiar faces like Thaddeus Ross and Betty Ross. It also reintroduced Samuel Stearns and even unveiled a brand new Hulk for the MCU. So it really seemed like the movie was laying the groundwork for something much bigger. And if Marvel had leaned into it, this could have been the perfect setup for a World War Hulk adaptation. But for now, those plans remain uncertain. In the comics, World War Hulk happens after the Planet Hulk storyline. Basically, the Illuminati decided Hulk was too dangerous to keep on Earth, so they sent him into space. He ended up on Sakaar, formed alliances, and even found love, until tragedy struck when the ship that brought him there exploded and killed his wife, Kyra. Hulk came back to Earth furious and ready for payback. What followed was one of the most epic and violent stories in Marvel history, with Hulk fighting almost every major hero. But here's the catch. It's pretty hard to imagine Mark Ruffalo's current version of Bruce Banner, calm, rational, and merged with the Hulk as Smart Hulk, going on a revenge-fueled rampage. He's gone through a huge transformation since the early days, and that makes it tricky to adapt World War Hulk as is. So if the MCU does plan to bring that storyline to life, it might need to shift the focus away from Bruce. That's where Brave New World could have really made an impact. The movie introduced Red Hulk, Thaddeus Ross's Hulk alter ego, which instantly added a whole new dynamic. Harrison Ford now plays Ross, taking over from the late William Hurt, and the film shows him becoming a very destructive version of the Hulk. Ross even causes chaos on a massive scale, wrecking iconic landmarks like the White House. He's also President of the United States, which adds another layer of intensity. With someone like Red Hulk unleashed and out of control, it wouldn't be a stretch for a group like the Illuminati to see him as a threat that needs to be removed from Earth. That angle could have set the stage for World War Hulk, only this time with Red Hulk as the one being exiled and eventually returning with vengeance. It would also conveniently dodge the solo Hulk film rights issue that has lingered over Bruce Banner's character. What makes this even more frustrating is that there were rumors about Brave New World, including a post-credit scene involving the Illuminati. If true, that could have been a game changer. Imagine a scene where they discuss exiling Ross after his rampage, especially since he ends up imprisoned at the end of the movie. But that scene never made it to the screen. Instead, Red Hulk's arc gets wrapped up rather quickly. He gives up the presidency and gets locked up just moments after his destructive debut. That shift in direction felt sudden, especially since he could have been set up as a major villain in a future World War Hulk film. Despite all the pieces being in place, Marvel chose not to move forward, at least not yet. But the signs have been there. We've seen bits and pieces of World War Hulk teased throughout the MCU for years. Remember Hulk's rampage in Avengers, Age of Ultron under Scarlet Witch's influence? Or when Thor, Ragnarok dropped us into Sakaar and gave Hulk a self-imposed exile? There was also Doctor Strange in a Multiverse of Madness, which showed us an alternate Illuminati, hinting that a version could exist in a main MCU timeline. Then there's She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, which quietly revealed Scar, Hulk's son, suggesting that Bruce's time on Sakaar had some major consequences. All of these moments feel like breadcrumbs leading to something bigger. So when Brave New World came along with all these Hulk connections, many expected Marvel to finally take that leap. But once again, it didn't happen. Now, the big question is whether the long wait will be worth it. Fans clearly still want this story, and the MCU has already teased enough of it to build real anticipation. But it's also true that too many missed opportunities could cause that interest to fade. That said, Marvel could still pull it off if they approach it smartly. Maybe they're saving World War Hulk for after Secret Wars, Or maybe they're waiting until the timing is just right. Whatever the case, Marvel still has options. They could center the story around Red Hulk, especially if they want a darker, more aggressive Hulk to drive the narrative. Or they could figure out a way to bring out a more primal side of Bruce again, perhaps through trauma, mind control, or an external threat. And with the rise of the multiverse, there's even a chance they introduce a more savage Hulk variant from another universe. What's important is that the story, if it happens, delivers the kind of emotional and action-packed impact fans are hoping for. World War Hulk is about more than just smashing. It's a tale of betrayal, loss, and justice gone too far. Whether it's Bruce or Ross at the center, Marvel needs to commit fully if they decide to adapt it. A World War Hulk movie could honestly be the multiverse saga's version of Civil War, an epic crossover that brings a bunch of Marvel heroes into one big conflict. In the comics, the story kicks off when Hulk gets tricked by the Illuminati into leaving Earth and heading into space. But when he eventually comes back, he's furious and out for revenge. That's when things get wild. He confronts Professor X, takes out some X-Men, and goes up against the new Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and even the Gamma Corps. Now, while some of that has already made its way into the MCU, like Bruce Banner choosing to go into space, which we saw hinted at before Thor, Ragnarok, there's still a big gap in what exactly happened during that time. We know he came back a different version of himself, but we didn't get to see what changed him. Then there's the setup from She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, which drops some subtle hints, especially when it introduced Scar, Hulk's son, in the finale. Plus, the Illuminati was finally brought into play in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, even though it was a multiversal version. So there's now a real possibility that the Hulk might come into conflict with a version of this group in the future. The only thing is, Bruce isn't the same raging Hulk anymore. He's Smart Hulk now, much more zen and level-headed. So a full-blown revenge plot doesn't quite fit his vibe anymore. But that's where Scar could come in. Since he was revealed at the end of She-Hulk, and considering his comic origins, there's a chance he might hold a grudge against his dad for abandoning him. It wouldn't just expand the Hulk side of the MCU. It would give us another massive, emotionally driven conflict that feels earned. And if it plays out right, World War Hulk could be the next tentpole Marvel event fans rally around.